right, so here we are back. Lyrics below. You know what I'm saying? We're listening beneath the speaker and figuring out if we got life or death coming out of our mouths and life or death in our ears. So here we are. I'm once again, you can say your host, but it's your boy, Matthew Jamal, IG. Please, if you want to continue to stay up to date, that's my main page. You can hit me up there. But if you love this this content that we're putting out so far, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. And as I've heard some people say, it's time to get to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why we are here though, technically, got a text from Lil Cole. I was helping my brother out with something, man. Got a text from Lil Cole. I said, oh, Lil Cole, what you saying? Look at it, community.com. We get to inevitable.live, and there we go, some manuscript. I didn't read it. I wanted to wait until we got here so I could react to it fresh, but we're about to read it, and we're going to talk about it, all right? So let's get to it. Let me go ahead and put this thing up. Yes, sir. There we go. All right. So the fall off cover that is currently circulating is a picture I took on a disposable camera when I was 15 years old. Once again, back to the beginning of that story, told in reverse. My very first setup. My first beats were made in that spot, surrounded by my mother's CD collection that I would comb through looking for samples. The first full song I ever made came to life in that very chair you see in that picture. I sat for hours in a zone I had never experienced before until I was done writing a track that I entitled The Storm. I probably rapped it aloud 50 times back to back, my young mind blown that I had actually wrote something space or this great. I called Nervous Rock immediately to ask if I could come over to the shelter to record it. The mental space I entered writing that joint was a feeling I will attempt to explain, but I doubt I will do it justice. It was the strongest possible combination of creativity, the imagination at work, focus in search of the next line, faith, belief that the next line will come, and excitement in knowing this thing being written is fully or truly something special that I imagine can't understand until they been in it. Oh my gosh. It's like God letting you into heaven for a few hours. Then even after it's time to leave, there's a lasting glow, a high, and a fulfillment that stays with you for days. And now every time you sit down to write, you'll close your eyes, cross your fingers, and hope he'll open up the gates for you again. Let's stop right there. All right, first of all, I need glasses, bro. With this light and that, I'm like, all right, yeah. My joint's like feeling like it's crossing. But as we talked about the intro, disc 2, man, I really do think we're about to hear the beginning of times for J. Cole, and this is kind of like, I guess you could say, a journal. This is a journal entry piece, kind of describing the context of what we're about to experience, not only in the cover art, but in the content of the body of work. So I love how he's really shouting out God here a lot, because once again, when you listen to the come up as opposed to where we are now, he was kind of talking about God, but it was more about him and proving himself to other people. So now it's like he addresses God first and everything, and just make sure that he acknowledges his presence in every single moment. And even after it's time to leave, there's a lasting glow. So yeah, bro, just being in that space as an artist for the first time, kind of like, you know what I mean? So that first time when you get experience doing something and you're just fully immersed in it. That's what I'm getting here. He's just painting the picture for us. The picture of where it all started for me felt fitting for an album that I made with the ending in mind. It has been the cover of The Fall Off for about the past 7 years, perfect in my mind. However, 2 years ago, after the events that I still feed the algorithm to this day, I became incredibly re-inspired, and the album slowly blossomed into a double disc as the concept expanded. I felt there should be an additional cover that represented that, something just as strong as the first, with my face on it, so that when I look back 20 years, I can see an image of who I was the last time I released the project I worked on for so long. This is the cover available now for pre-order for the CD version of the album. All right, so let's go ahead and check it out. See what we got. All right, so no face, the fall off. I find it interesting that the fall off is kind of arched. His shoulders are right here, so those are flat. So it's kind of almost as if that's running through his face. So the fall off is his face. So I assume we will get the context or a definition for what the fall off means by the end of the project. I know it says the fall off is inevitable, and even in the announcement, it was kind of just talking through that idea that the fall off is inevitable. It's a part of evolution. And it's not because somebody did anything wrong. It just happens, right? So life is his face, living with a body. I don't know. That's a reach. But yep. So, all right. So I guess this is the full one. Never mind. All right. So Jermaine just looking down. Keeping Simple kind of looks like the Blueprint album. I think that's what it was. Whichever one, what's that? Young Forever is on with Jay-Z, but the red stripe, white background. I like that he often pays homage to certain artists that he really rocks with, and obviously Jay put him on, and even once again, disc 2, he talked about it, and was like, my favorite artist put me on, or signed me, I think he said. But yeah, so the algorithm, let's get back to it. Peace, Cole. All right, so here we go, like a PS. Oh yeah, also we have added a section to this site called Ville Central. It's a message board / forum that you can post in if you choose, paying homage to a website I used to visit as a teenager called Cannabis Central. I would go there damn near daily, hoping for any updates about when Cannabis was going to drop a new album or a single or freestyle or anything. A community formed there over time, and I thought it might be dope to offer that same thing on this site. Love it. A space to chop it up about the music and whatever else. I have no idea if it's a good idea, but right now the plan is to keep it until the end of February. I will do a Ask Me Anything on there in the next few days. Oh yeah, we're gonna hop on there. But man, all right, so that's the little snippet or the excerpt we got from Jermaine. I like it overall. I think it's dope. I should have definitely just scrolled up right there. Would have seen it earlier. But man, I think it's dope. I think he's setting a bar right now for artists and consumers alike to say, hey, these labels, these musicians that are taxing you, lying to you, and making you feel as if they're a god, that ain't really it, bro. Look, I can give it to you for cheap. For instance, the Blizzard Pack, pay what you want. Got 4 songs on there, well mastered, well mixed, with heat. So then we're here, bro, and it's just like Jermaine is just showing us that connection and community are the key. If you want to grow in anything, bro, you gotta humble yourself to be in whatever space you need to be in, so that the people, the average common, or the common person, can relate to you, feel a connection, and can then from there establish a trust in you. Because if you don't have trust, you can never make change. So that's really the goal, I think, that he's trying to get here. Because if you've heard it all throughout his music, and we're going to dive on it, so once again, stay tapped in. But as you look through, bro, J. Cole is all about change. He wants to see change for everybody. That was even in the come up. He was hungry. He wanted to see his boys change. For Your Eyes Only, my favorite album all time. He wanted to see change. So here we are in a very uncertain time. Are you going to change for the better? Are you going to change for the worse? I pray that you keep your mind stayed on God so he can keep you in perfect peace, and that you seek him first and his righteousness, so that everything shall be added unto you. Everything that you need will be added unto you, so that you can be like a lamp who's on a hill, shining the light for others around in this darkness. Because there's definitely darkness, but also I know that there's a remnant of light still left. So let's be that light. Let's shine. Let's change the world one day at a time, one action at a time, one word at a time. Because remember, you got it. You got it. We speak life, not death, because the power of life and death is in your tongue. Love. Peace.